Yes.
Week one. Week
Woo!
one is here. Our Trojans are playing today, man, in just a few hours.
Woo!
Preston's Paradise here, joined with my boy Paulie Walnuts,
Paulie
man.
Walnuts.
If you guys are watching the show on Twitter, if you're watching the show on Facebook, you can follow me on YouTube at Preston's Paradise. You can follow my man Paulie Walnuts at
Calling the Shots podcast.
Calling the Shots podcast
With
on
Paulie
YouTube
Walnuts.
with Paulie Walnuts, man. And we got a bunch of fun topics today, man. We're gonna try to make it an hour show. Excellent, superb, one of the greatest, opening week one slates we've had in years, right? We're coming out the gate with Texas, Ohio State, obviously ending with our beloved Trojans. Super excited, man. So let's get into it. Paulie, man, did you check out any of the games on Thursday? Any of the games last night? Man, we had some good ones, man. What were your thoughts on that?
Of course, you're talking to a guy that'll watch Fordham play. I
feel you. You're watching Ivy League football.
I do watch Ivy League football. I'll watch anything.
Ivy League football.
Yeah, it could be my uncles in the backyard play football, and I'd watch it, bro. Mm-hmm. That's how diehard of a football fan I am. Actually, sports in general. But yeah, I watched a lot of it. I caught that Colorado game. Sure enough, I pretty much thought Georgia Tech would be able to handle that. They just look a little skittish to me. Mm. They got this so-called all-star team of coaches on that squad there with Falk and then Randy Moss was even there too, and the receivers. Well, you can't have one of the greatest, probably the greatest receiver next to Rice in attendance, and you can't do something about it. Come on, guys, forget about it.
Crazy. Shout out to everybody that's coming through.
Man, look at that. That's my buddy Jeremy Turks. I love it.
Kristen in the chat. Yeah, man. I was just shocked about that Boise game. Boise, and I was like, yo, this is a veteran offensive line, man. All these cats in there going into Random James against USF, got punched in the mouth. And the coach was laughing and stuff. He didn't seem like he was really, really stressing the situation, but that was interesting one. Just undisciplined football that I'm not really used to seeing from a program like Boise State. Nebraska,
Cincinnati. They looked a little rough. They did. Raiola looked like he wasn't in sync with his team at all. They, remember that was the one knock on that guy is that he has kind of an attitude problem. That's why they have his uncle on the coaching staff. Notice he did go straight to his uncle's uncle, give him a little hug, calm down. But this is college football here, man. We don't need that kind of stuff around. But he needs to get it together because they do have a lot of talent on that team. But yeah, that was a close game.
Yeah, that was a good game. Yeah, Raiola. He's just, I don't see the special in him. Like, I really don't see. He seems a little out of shape, too. We talked about the homie from Kansas State being out of shape. He's a little out of shape. Nebraska, I like the running back. I did like the running back. I like the things he was doing. I like the performance of the offensive line, but I think our defensive line, when we come up against them, is going to be a little bit more combative and be able to handle that. But obviously, we're going to go on the road and play that game. But two teams that I was very impressed with, that I looked at, two of our Big Ten brethren that I sat back and I was like, okay, these teams are doing a good job. Is Minnesota, when they came out the gate, they looked very good. I like the young quarterback that came in there. He looked very good. Fight on, everybody in the chat. Minnesota only won that game against Buffalo, though, 23-10. So that is not that impressive. But Illinois, man. Illinois went to work against Western Illinois, 52-3. And that's exactly the type of performance I want to see from USC today as we get into that game, man. They really just got after it and performed like an elite team against an inferior opponent. So hopefully we see that later on from our Trojans.
Yeah, Illinois definitely came out. They did what they were supposed to do, and that's what we're looking for week one. We're looking for these teams to come out, not like Nebraska. We're looking for them to come out and really just do what they're supposed to do. Crush these teams, basically.
Exactly. So let's get into it, man.
Let me say, we'll give a little shout out to my daughter, Meadow, Chloe. She's on here. Love you, baby, okay?
Absolutely. Family in the chat. Homie Trojan Blanchard, let's get after it 1-0. All right, so yeah. I mean, Trojans, hopefully they're going 1-0. We went 2-4 with our picks last week. Week 0
upsets, man.
I'm just happy that I wasn't the only loser here. Me and you were both losers last week. Hopefully we could bounce back this week, feeling pretty good about these picks. But what I want to get into in first, man, is we started the season off in Ireland, man. and it was an ugly one. Everybody was watching that game against Kansas State, against Ohio State. I picked Kansas State. You picked Kansas State in that game. I think you were going to go Iowa State first, but
I was, because I love Rocco, man. I was, and I backed out.
You did mention it, but then you came over to my loser side and Kansas State. Dylan Edwards goes down with an injury, sideline. The field is in shambles, terrible grass, terrible conditions, people getting hurt. Iowa pulls it out. Do you want to see this game continue to happen in Ireland, man? Because I'm sitting back like, I do not want to see USC ever start a game across the world in Ireland in a soccer stadium with terrible conditions, man. I didn't like it. How do you feel about this game?
Well, I have a buddy named Vince that lives in Europe, and he was in Ireland at the time when and he said that it was a mass defection. People were leaving because the Americans were coming for this particular game. I'm not joking. He said tons of people were just getting out for the weekend because they could not stand the fact that they were coming to have a football game there. The way I believe that this game, if they're going to continue to have it, keep that thing East Coast, man. Keep it Boston College, Notre Dame. If you want to play, have Fordham play there, have those Catholic schools play. But you know what? Stay away from the rest of them. Who wants to watch Iowa State and Kansas State? I have a hard enough time watching that here in the States, let alone in another country. So, that's my take on that one.
Yeah, interesting, right? Because we saw Georgia Tech and Florida State out there last year. It kind of, and this is my thought on it, right? It kind of seems like it propelled Georgia Tech to have that year that they had last year. Yeah, obviously they go out there, they knock off a Florida State team, which we later on realized was obviously just a terrible football team. I think they won 2 games last season. And then, but Georgia Tech continues to go on, beat Miami, had a pretty good season last year. Go 8 overtimes with Georgia, and probably the craziest football game I've ever seen in my life last season. And, they're kind of rolling on. I mean, they start the season 1-0 yesterday against Colorado. Really like the quarterback over there, and Haynes King, man. He is
he's solid. Really solid.
He got everything he wanted yesterday against the Colorado defense that we're going to see how good they are, as they come up against other opponents. But, man, just I don't like it. I don't want my team to play in that game. I don't want SC to play in that game. But, if they're going to continue to do it, then, put it out there with some East Coast.
No part of that, man. We don't want any part of that. Stay away from that, Jen.
No part. Please. Exactly. Jen, do not do it. So let's go on to another topic, man. Something that's interesting, something that's dreadful from our boys down in the Bayou. LSU Lord. And Brian Kelly, man. LSU has lost 6 straight openers. I believe Brian Kelly has lost 3 straight openers or 4 straight openers as a head coach at LSU. Well, they've lost 5 straight. Do they lose 6 straight today against Clemson? I think Clemson is going to win this game. How do you feel about this situation? How do you feel like the SC fan base would deal with a situation like this, losing 5 straight openers, bro?
Oh, my God, we'd be losing our minds, man. That's just the way it goes. I mean, and honestly, in LSU, they are losing their mind. Yeah. Kelly's 0-3. Kelly is 0-3 in season openers. And then on top of that, this is the battle of the Death Valleys to finally decide who gets to take control of that name, because Clemson has, their name is it's called Death Valley as well. LSU uses Death Valley, so it's the battle of the Death Valleys. They're both talking a little trash about it. I know Kelly dropped the first bomb yesterday saying that they want to take that name back or whatever. But you know what? If he does not win this opener, I'm going to tell you that whole thing of him losing the opener and then getting hot towards the end of the season, it's not going to fly this year. They're going to put an immense amount of pressure on this guy. This guy's feet is going to get so hot because Nussmeier is an interception factory, man. And if he starts, they could possibly go 0-2. They got a pretty tough schedule, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. I think LSU has a lot of really nice pieces. I actually really do like Garrett Nussmeier. I just feel like that schedule, and this is really about this opener, right? Do I think LSU could compete with Alabama, compete with the South Carolina? Those are the teams they're going to run into as this year goes on. I think those will be good games, but it's this opener, bro, the mental factor. I don't know how you step in as a head coach and for a 3rd year in a row, like, what type of speech are you giving? Are you like, okay, guys, this year, how do you prepare for this again to possibly go out and lose another opener, bro, to a fan base, to a program? And his seat is hot, man. You see the flames I put on this graphic.
On the backside. Look at the flames there.
Bro, he he's on the skillet right now for real. My boy Kelly is on the skillet, and I don't got no sympathy for you because he used to be at Notre Dame. So that's why I'm doing this to you, my man.
Yeah, and that's the thing with Kelly is that these losses that they're having against some of these, during the streak. I mean, you're losing to UCLA, and then you're losing to what was it, Florida State twice?
Yep, Florida State.
Yeah, then us. We handled them. Yeah. So you know what? It looks like if he does not win this, I mean, look at him. Look at that look on his face. Stress, that's exactly how it's going to look.
Stress.
Yeah, that's stress.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I want to see a great game today. The game does come on the same exact time as the SC game, so maybe I'll have it on my laptop while I watch the SC game. But that should be a pretty good game, regardless.
Clemson is such a balanced team. I know Dabo. People have given him a lot of heat over the years. Being able to, he's had some top recruits that come in and haven't been developed properly. But the thing with Dabo is maybe this is a year of redemption for him. The guy, has Kid Klubnik, who's I don't want to say special talent, but the guy's really good with handling that offense and understanding how Dabo's offense works, how to be a leader in that offense, and they're utilizing their weapons well. That those hogs that they have on the offensive line and defensive line, they're pretty. They're on. I mean, I was reading some of those weights, man, on there. Those guys are massive guys, man. So
dude, they legitimately might have 3 to 4 first rounders. On that defensive line.
No doubt.
Pretty crazy. So yeah, good luck to LSU. We'll see what y'all do, but it's gonna be a tough one for you tonight. Something new that we have here is this lunch pail, our lunch pail awards, man. These are the guys who, go to work every week. We're going to be giving this award to our Trojans on the weekly basis, but obviously USC did not have a game last week. So we're going to give the award to some of our future Trojans, man. So
there we go.
We got the lunch pail right here, baby.
I love it. I know
there was high school football yesterday. But where can I go off? I don't really know, how things fared last night for some of our future Trojans. We're gonna go off last week where we had a lot of future Trojans ball out, man. Sean Scott, three tackles, a sack, a forced fumble. Sean Alston out in Ohio had 8 touchdowns, 290 all-purpose yards.
He's special, Preston.
Unbelievable game. Yeah. So those are my picks. How'd you feel about Tom Tom's performance?
Tom to me is, it's not even the numbers part of it. It's the fact that you look at his body. He has the type of body where he's going to put on more mass and he's going to be more disruptive than ever. The guy already is just tossing people around. But what I love about him is the leadership and the fire that he shows when they're in Florida and enemy territory, and he's over there, taking on that whole crowd by himself, man, and just talking trash and getting his guys, right, when it comes to that intensity level, basically showing them this is a level that we're going to have to play at in order to handle these guys. And sure enough, they went out. And like I said, Tom was tossing these guys, these Florida boys around. And I was really proud of him for that. And what else I love about Tom is he's constantly on campus all the time. There's always a Tom presence there, learning and trying to soak up as much as he can. And that's why he's my boy. I love him.
My boy Blackie Chan said Taylor Johnson out there, linebacker, had 20 total tackles. I did actually see that on Twitter. That's pretty crazy. Missed that.
Yeah, that's nuts.
But I'm not really sure what went down yesterday. But what I will say is it's kind of different. We do these recruiting videos of people like Trojan Blade, USCJ, all of us on YouTube, Blackie Chan and those guys. We do our recruiting videos and stuff like that. I look at the film at some of these guys, but to see them live in action, see the intensity that Sean Scott and Tom are playing with, man. It just got me super hyped to get these guys on campus because they're out there talking their stuff. They got no fear. They're kind of arguing, getting into it. Even my boy, the tight end Bowman, my boy Mark Bowman was getting into it. Like we just got some nasty kids coming in, bro. Like these dudes are mean and nasty. I am super excited about this class of 2026, man. I think it's going to be very special.
Yeah, they're coming in as a complete unit. They know how to play together, and they're coming in with bad intentions. Sean Alston as well. That running back is special to me. Those tree trunk legs that he has, his ability to dedicate himself to this university without wavering ever throughout this whole entire process. He's steady. He's standing strong. I even gave him a shout out on that just to thank him for being so loyal to us. And And so, and all these kids, they've been
Mm-hmm.
like that with us. So I'm excited, man. I can't wait. Tom, when he tossed that offensive lineman to just like flipped him over, kind of Reggie White style. Yeah, I almost jumped out of my seat, man. That was insane.
Yeah, crazy. Deshaun Rideau had like a crazy run where he was breaking like multiple tackles. I got Madden Reardon and Brandon Lockhart out at Sierra Canyon, bro. I would hate to be a wide receiver playing against Sierra Canyon, bro. They were completely locking stuff up. You got Kenny Pepe and Collegier on the left side of the line. Like, oh my god,
wow,
just rolling people over like a freight.
Yeah,
like,
I don't want people to think we're sounding like homers either, Preston. But these guys are legit people. They're legit.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's number one, number two, and on some sites recruiting class in the country. So all these guys are blue chip recruits, man, and they're playing like it, and you love to see it when they're coming into your program. So hopefully we're able to hold on to all those guys. But something that kind of has a little bit to do with recruiting, a little bit to do with the future of the program as well. Our guy and my guy in particularly, man, Chad Bowden, my GM, our GM. Getting after it, setting the foundation, right?
Yep.
We also saw USC football put something out that and my guy Anthony Beavers, USC linebacker recruit. I don't know if this was the same day. I think it might have been the same day, even though like the pictures and stuff came out at different times, the videos came out at different times. But Anthony Beavers was out there checking out the Baldwin Hills Bruins. He used to play for that Snoop League team. He invited them to the Coliseum for the game today. And this is how you start, right? Black and Chad talking about it, right? Yeah. The class of 2035. We're setting the foundation right here, bro. And this is so special, man. Chad goes out there with Dre Brown. He goes out there with Gavin Morris. Making the connection with these guys early, bro. Reminding these guys which side of the city to be on. I know they're in that blue and gold right now, but what side to be on, right? Be a Trojan, man. Showing that you care about the kids, you care about the community. I'm sure you remember, Pete Carroll going into, the neighborhoods, going into the hoods, going into Nickerson Gardens, and building those relationships with the people in the city. That's what it takes. You have to show people that you care about them, show people that you're by their side, and you're watching them, and you want to support them, right? So how do you feel about our GM and the guys going out there to check out the kiddos?
I'm being a diehard Yankee fan, and I'll admit that to everyone out there. I'm a diehard Yankee fan, and that's the foundation piece that's what the Yankees build their franchise on, is being able to start these relationships with guys at the age of 13. I mean, they're out there putting on camps and clinics for them. And I mean, look at Jason Dominguez, the Martian. He's like a 5-tool player. They've been working with him since he was 12 years old. So and these make lasting impressions on them. They're doing the right thing, getting out in the community, not only building relationships with these kids, but also with the families that are associated with the kids as well. So they're, it's such memorable experiences. They're coming out. I remember when I was a kid and Rosie Greer came to South Valley Junior High, and Rosie Greer, Hall of Famer. And I'm looking at this guy, and it was one of the most exciting moments of my life. And then, for them, these kids all have the technology in their hand. You don't think they can just look up and see who Chad is and read about him and say, wow, this guy came to talk to us, Mom. This guy, look, Dad, it's such a memorable experience for him. I'm all about it. And that's one thing about Chad and Riley. I watched a great interview on that where they just start, combining, putting ideas together, and some are absolutely ridiculous. And then you get some they're knocking it out of the park, just like this one here.
Yeah.
Really excited about this opportunity that they're giving to some of these kids out there by coming out and talking to them.
Yeah. So special. And just another moment where I look at Chad and I'm like, Chad gets it, bro. He gets it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, he's doing it on every level. He's doing it at the recruiting level and within the program, within the transfer portal, within the guys, implementing the things, being creative with how they're doing things, being ahead of the curve at every front. And then this is grassroots, right? This is the epitome of grassroots. This is epitome of guerrilla, tactics, man.
Yeah.
You're going and, talk about California recruiting, keeping kids home in California. Yeah. This is a major thing, bro. Because we know subliminally with a lot of these youth programs, a lot of these Pop Warner programs, they do that subliminal stuff and they do that outright stuff. How you have the Ducks football team, and obviously you got the Baldwin Hill Bruins here. and stuff like that. And that's also subliminal and real stuff that, kids kind of can latch onto.
Yeah. But so, you look at that, Preston, you look at them going to Snoop's camp. How many? Over 60,000 players have gone through Snoop's football academy, whatever it's called. And then on top of that, look at the type of people they're producing: C.J. Strouds, the Jujus,
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith. I mean, it goes on and on and on. Yeah. And so they got this one. They knocked it out of the park. They knocked it out of the park, and I'm really excited about it.
Love to see it. All right, so we got a matchup today, and we're going up against Missouri State, man. So we're gonna get into Missouri State. I'm gonna talk about a few things. I did a preview for this team on this channel. We can talk about Paulie one. We're gonna talk to my guy Paulie about this as well. But Missouri State, man, this is an opponent that we got going in, man. We got an opponent that has nothing to lose. This is their first game in the FBS, coming out of the FCS, coming out of what is to be like the toughest conference in the FCS with, North Dakota State, South Dakota State. They were 8-4 team last year. They got a good quarterback, man. They got a pretty good quarterback in this guy, Jacob Clark, threw for 3,600 yards last year. I think 26 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, nearly 70% completion rating. They got a few weapons. The Dash Luke kid seems to be a little bit promising. I think this kid, Jamarie Robinson, James Blackstrain, they got some tools. The OC is Nick Petrino, the son of Bobby Petrino. This is the same guy that was, at Louisville. I believe he was also at Arkansas, if I'm not mistaken. Obviously, the guy that had that situation on the back of a motorcycle.
What's up? We'll get into that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have that image. Like,
that's okay.
I messed up on that one, but. So they're gonna like to throw the ball around. His son-in-law, Jacob, I believe his name is Jacob. No, his name's not Jacob. That's the quarterback. I forgot the head coach's name. But that's his son-in-law. And they like to throw the ball around the yard, man. They're trying to get to their playmakers in the slot, trying to get to their guys outside. But this is a game that USC must dominate. Just like LSU dominated Western Illinois. I mean, just like Illinois dominated Western Illinois yesterday. We got to dominate this game, man, if we're going to be a serious contender and a good team this season, man. How do you feel about Missouri State? How do you feel about this game we're going into this afternoon?
Jacob Clark, obviously he's that guy that I mean, he has great size. And the one thing about by Petrino and his offense, and then he's given that all that knowledge over to Beard and to his son. Obviously, Nick is the offensive coordinator. And those guys are just, I mean, you're going to watch this team just attack the slot, man, constantly. But you know what? We have the defense. And then it's a good test for our guys to be able to see what we're all about, defending that. But you know what? When it comes to the team, they're making the move to Conference USA. I mean, this is a team that we should absolutely just crush. I mean, maybe – I'm thinking even a field goal, 2 field goals possibly. I don't know. If we give up like 20 or something, I'm not going to be happy. But and so the one thing about Nick Petrino, like I said, it's they're going to give us their all. They have nothing to lose. They lost a teammate recently, so they're going to be fired up about that. That's kind of their thing right now, where they're coming into the cathedral, one of the cathedrals of college football, and they're going to come and try to take one from us and surprise us and kind of put us in a bad, even if they can't win, they want to put us in a bad situation. So we need to come out, and that's why the pressure's on us. You see what Illinois did, and that's the first thing I noticed. I'm like, oh, all right, here we go, boys. We need to come out, and we need to make a statement immediately. I want them to come out quick, score immediately on them, and I want Jaden to get that confidence as well, too, by being able to come down, put some points up on the board. If we get a 3 and out, honestly, it's going to scare me a little bit, but for the most part, we'll see how we handle that.
Yeah, likewise. And I see this comment in the chat from Daniel Garcia. He's saying all he wants to see is run. And brother, I agree. I agree with you.
Agree.
I put out a tweet about 2 to 3 days ago, and majority of the people that responded to the tweet understood what I meant. Some idiots on Twitter took it the wrong way, and there's always these people. I don't know why they come to my and they follow me. I don't get it, but. I said I would love to see Lincoln come out, go 6 to 8 straight run plays, because this situation with this Missouri State game, right? This game scares me. I'm not gonna lie. Like, I feel like we're gonna destroy them, and I think we're gonna. But it is a scary game when you got everything to lose, right? You're going against Missouri State. I want to run the ball. They should not be able to stop us running the ball. Let's get out of there as soon as possible. Let's get the clock running, and let's go home, bro. Like, the clock should be running the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Obviously, we want to see our guys go through the air. We got some excellent receivers. I think Jaden Maaba, we want to see him, play a nice, clean game, warm up a little bit, get his feet under him as this season gets underway. But to start the game, I want to run. Let's get the clock going. Let's run it, and let's get out of there. No injuries, and let's go home, bro. That is what I want to see. I want to see boring football today, brother. I want to run the ball and make them very smart. Let's just throw to the flats. Let's, kind of open things up. Obviously, we'll probably be able to find something downfield. I think that the skills we're far too skilled outside. We're gonna be able to find some mismatches outside as well.
Boring football, Preston, huh?
I want to see boring football today. We should be flashy right now, brother.
Run the option.
Let's run the ball. Let's play Big Ten football, bro, and let's get out of there.
I'm with you. Honestly, it's funny how that's why we get along so well, because I was thinking the complete opposite. I'm like, I want Jaden just to come out very first play of the game and just go deep to Makai.
Yo, to be honest, that's probably what you're gonna see, though, right? Yeah, some people commented on my Twitter like, "Oh yeah, the first play is gonna be a bubble screen into Nook Hines to the house, to Makai Lemon to the house." I'm like, "Hey, bro, you throwing a bubble screen first play of the game against Missouri State? I mean, hey, Lincoln Riley, he's a coach, brother." But
that's just it's in them. But yet, they are gonna. They want to see what this running back room is all about. So there's no doubt about it. I want to see our tight ends get some run and see what we're there for, because we need them in order to get to that next level. No one ever talks about these guys, but we need them. That's Big Ten football. If you notice, every team we struggled with, their tight ends were coming up with some big plays on us. Look what obviously Penn State did to us. So it's just we need that room to really step up. Want to see what the running backs are about. We already know what the receivers can do. Offensive line, I'd like to see the rotation come in, see what those guys can do as well. But the defensive guys too, I want to see them. Especially the way they throw into the slot, man, with these guys. And Dash Luke and all that. Probably they're going to try to test them, and it's a good test for our linebackers and for our safeties as well.
Mm-hmm. As far as the defense, it's going to be a good test. I know they went like their tight end. Actually, is this guy Lance Mason. He ended up transferring to Wisconsin. Yeah. So we'll see him a little later on, possibly. I don't know if he's going to be a starting tight end. I didn't watch Wisconsin play that game really, but he had the most touchdowns for them last year. So I'm interested to see if they are going to implement the tight end as much as they did last season. That'll be interesting. But as far as the offensive line, right? Our offensive line, they got some big boys up front, man. They got some big boys that used to play power four football. Devon Townley, 6'6", 275-pound edge. Yeah. Was at Penn State, former 4-star recruit. So he's over there. He's going to be out there. DJ Wesselak, number 7, coming over from Oregon State, 6'4", 255 pounds. Yeah. So we got to protect Jaden, and we got to run the ball against these guys, man. This is a great test, right? We got some big boys there. The interior of their defense isn't that serious. It's not that skilled. I don't think we have anything to worry about, but they do have some guys outside that'll probably move around, move inside at times and stuff like that. So very interested to see how the offensive line plays. My eyes are going to be on that line of scrimmage, like on offense and on defense, to see how these guys are blocking. Obviously, you don't want to see any mental mistakes. In the grand scheme, you do not want to see any turnovers. Take care of the ball. Do not fumble the ball. Wide receivers catch the ball. Do not throw picks. Be decisive. And just overall be disciplined as an offense, right?
Yeah, and that's the thing about it is it's usually teams – they'll accept this first game of the year against one of the big teams, big universities, and they'll accept it just for the payday. And teams, they don't care if they get rolled or not. But at least we're getting a team that's going to come in and they're going to put they're going to leave their hearts and soul on that field, man, for their teammate. They're going to come to play, man. So it's a good test for us.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting because Beard, their head coach, and Lincoln Riley have gone up before. And battled before. So when Link was at Oklahoma, they kind of, were coaching against each other. So he's kind of familiar with what Lincoln likes to do. And, he was.
I just hope the Petrinos, being in LA, I hope those guys stayed out of trouble, man. They're not motorcycles with secretaries, and Nick's over there driving intoxicated. I hope they're all right.
Exactly, man. I hope you have a clean game, man. Hopefully the Petrino family stays out of trouble. I don't know what Papa Petrino is up to nowadays. Hopefully he's taking care of business, right?
You got it, man.
Yeah, but yeah, man. Going into this game, like some of the guys I think that are gonna be able to perform high and have a good game, right?
Yep.
I got Jaden Maava as my offensive MVP. I'm not asking a lot from Jaden Maava, man. I would like to see maybe a couple touchdowns, maybe 200 yards, take care of the ball, be smart, be accurate with the football, good decision making. Want to see that. Devin Tompkins, man, not a guy that I've spoken too much on this offseason, but a guy that was pretty consistent last season. I think is going to take a big step. Coach Henney has spoken. I think he said like he could be one of our better defensive linemen in the entire group or on this team. So I think Devin Tompkins, his versatility at 6'5", 285 pounds. It's really tremendous the jump and the progression that this kid has made physically, as well as an athlete, right? This is a former basketball player. He kind of did what I did, but he was more successful doing it. Like me being a former basketball player and transitioning to football back in the day, he has gone from a basketball player, got up to 295 pounds, and was making some big time plays for us last season. I think you're going to see his game rise to another level. You can kind of see as a leader as well, he's kind of taking another jump just by some of the film and things we've heard out of practice this offseason and this spring. As far as freshmen, I think the freshmen are going to be able to get some good PT this game. I think they'll be able to do some really good stuff. Hopefully we see Hassan get in there at the quarterback spot. Would love to see that. And I think if he gets in there, he's going to be able to do some special stuff. He's going to be able to show his talents and why he was such a highly recruited cat coming out of the high school level. Unfortunately, we're not going to see Jakeem and your boy Alex Graham have both been ruled out for this game, which is completely fine. They're both kind of dealing with little injuries or whatever. I'm completely fine with that. We should be able to not, have them and still dominate and win this game. So that's completely fine. But as far as on the defensive front, I got Floyd Bucard, showing some of his talents up front on that defensive line spot, and I think he can make some plays a little bit later in this game, or maybe he gets in there a little bit earlier in the rotation. We're gonna kind of see how Lynn and these guys, these defensive line coaches, kind of deal with that rotation with Jade and Devin being the starters. But let's get into some of your impact Trojans for this game against Missouri State here.
I just think, wow. I mean, I don't think Missouri State's ever seen anything like Jacoby Lane before, and that's my offensive MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I just it's probably going to shock them to see a guy that's that big, that athletic, and has such soft hands the way he does. So look for Jacoby to come out. I don't think he's going to play a whole lot. Possibly they want to keep him fresh. Obviously, he's coming off that injury. So even if he scores a touchdown, that'll be a good day for me too. But a defensive MVP, I have Cam Fountain. I don't know if he'll play a whole lot today because I have a feeling they're going to be rotating people in and out. But that he's just the way he's improved over the offseason. I mean, like I said, him and Stevens and these guys, like I told you, they look like they came from boot camp at Paris Island or some Marine boot camp. They look so sharp, man. Their hair is short. They look chiseled. They look like they just look amazing, man. And I'm really, really excited about him taking that next step. And my impact freshman, obviously, is Harry Dalton. I'm so high on him. And there's a reason behind it. It's just the vision, the way he runs with that amazing vision, side to side, being able to see things that cut one way, cut the other way. I really have high hopes on him. Will he play a lot? I'm hoping this is the type of game where you can get in. Who knows? Maybe he'll break one out for a long one and take it to the house. But Alex Graham, so keep your eye, folks, on Harry Dalton. Before the end of the season, if we have some injuries, you'll see him in there. But getting to Alex Graham, that's another player. We all know how special I think this guy is. He's top notch. I could easily see him eventually if he keeps with trajectory. He keeps going up and up and up. And I could see him playing in the NFL. Playing on Sundays. He's just that smart, that instinctive, and just all around solid. So I'm kind of bummed out I'm not getting a chance to see him because I think he would have had that interception today.
Yeah. I'm bummed. Yeah, I'm definitely bummed that not gonna be able to see Thanos, man.
Yeah.
Really wanted to see him do his thing. Super excited to have him in the program. Like it's so crazy that we even got him, bro. It's just amazing, like the type of guys we've been able to bring in with this class. And I would love to see Cordova out there. Like I think maybe we get a chance to see Gus, a big Gus out there.
Yeah, Gus is my guy, man. I love that guy. I'm really hoping we get to see him.
Yeah, that would be awesome, man. Hopefully we get a chance to see big Gus out there. I'm big on Romero Ison as well.
Yeah.
Like I think Romero, Romero is a cat that, a lot of people are high on Nick Hines. He's basically slated as a number 3 receiver on this team. That was news that came out on the depth chart a few days ago. And but I was always high on my guy Romero Ison. His speed on film, his high school film was one of the guys where I was like, nah, he is a difference maker and an athlete and a game changer.
Yeah.
In the kick return game, obviously at the wide receiver position. So maybe we'll see a glimpse of my guy Romero Ison as well. That would be cool to see as far as freshmen go.
Yeah, I know Tanook's a track guy as well, but Mo Ison is more of it's an explosive type of speed, man. And I for a while there during that circuit, where they go and they play each other, off and on in these whatever they call 7-on-7 things or whatever. But he was actually outplaying everybody, So Mo Ison's huge to me, man, and that guy's gonna play a big role. Hopefully by the end of the season we'll see some more of him.
Yeah, he was shifty out there in Maryland, man, going to work. So season predictions, man.
Oh Lord.
I've already, to be honest, bro. I'm not gonna say the words. I'm not gonna say the words that start with 12. I'm not gonna say it. But season predictions, man. I think I've said that the ceiling for this team, in my personal opinion, is 10-2. I believe the floor is 9-3. And when I put this 9-3 up here, I got a loss at Notre Dame, a loss at Iowa.
Yeah.
I think Michigan is gonna be a lot better team than a lot of people think this year, just in all facets. I do think we're probably going to win that game just because their quarterback is a freshman. I have nothing but faith in Dan Lynn and this new defense, right? So I'm really leaning more 10-2. But I think there's a possibility that if we are 9-3 with these losses, right? So that'd be us taking care of that game in Oregon, taking care of that game in Nebraska, right? That we might be able to sneak into the playoff picture as a 9-3 team in the Big Ten. And that's just really how I feel, man. I feel like we're really going to be a 10-2 team, but I think we're going to see a special team take the field this afternoon in the Collie, man. And I think it's going to be a dominant performance, man. And I think, we're really going to shock a lot of people in these preseason polls. It's funny when you do these predictions, and we're going to be showing our CFP brackets as well. Because you already see people falling. You already see top 25 teams falling. You see a Kansas State fall. You see a Boise State fall. It's gonna be shooken up regardless, right? So I think that's what gives us a chance to sneak in that CFP picture. How do you feel, and how do you predict about the season going for this team?
That's the thing about it. You look back even to the Carroll days where we always had that one random loss. It was either at an Oregon State, or here we are, in a battle with Fresno State, an overtime battle. I mean, there was always that game. And so I know there's going to be that game this year. It's just hard to predict. Could it be Michigan State? Possibly. Could it be one of those running quarterbacks that are going to maybe run wild on us and expose us in a certain area? It could be. I mean, but Nebraska, everybody's kind of flipping out about them. I still continue to pick them as one of our losses because I just think Holgorsen is a good offensive coordinator. Matt Rule, they're going to get it together, and they're going to find their rhythm. And Raiola, he looked a little pudgy to me. That guy looked like me in a uniform, man. I mean, the love handles were hanging out a little there, man. He didn't look like he was in great shape, to be honest with you. And that concerns me a little there. But Iowa definitely could be one of those losses. It's a tough-nosed, hard-nosed football team right there. They're just tough guys. And they're going to bring it, and that's going to show a lot if we can get over that hump and beat them. As far as Michigan goes, that was a team that I thought about, but I just don't see a freshman coming into the Coliseum and beating us that way. But I'm going to go ahead and stick with that. That's just being a positive. Realistically, obviously, I think different things. It could possibly be a 9-3, or we could have 4 losses. I mean, there's no doubt. I mean, it could easily go that way. But I'm sticking to the positive side. I'm going to do the 10-2. I'm sticking with Nebraska and Iowa.
Yeah, anything is definitely possible, right? And yeah, I'm just taking the optimistic approach. I feel like we were so close in so many games last year against so many teams, right? Namely, I mean, the Notre Dame game could have easily won that game. Had a vital mistake at the end of that game that kind of really swayed it in the wrong direction. But we were right there, man. Jacoby was dominating their DBs. Jaden was throwing it around the yard. And I think we're going to have a much improved offense. I think this team gets, at least 10% better this season. But we're going to see, man, because, Illinois took care of business. I want to see how we take care of business when we have an inferior opponent in front of us, man. You have to handle everything. You got to play every week like you're playing against the national championship. You know what I'm saying? You can't just play down to your competition. Yeah. You can't play up to your competition. Tired of seeing that, when it comes to this program, right? We have to just dominate, bring that cush mentality every week, dominate your opponent, physically dominate, mentally dominate your opponent in the film room, whether it's preparation and coaches. Y'all better have your stuff together as well. Put these kids in the position to succeed. Play calling, situational stuff has to be on point. Like that is a progression that I want to see from the staff. From this team. The Big Ten acclimation season is done. We're stepping into it. We know what to expect. We should be, able to, travel well, have everything tied in, been to these environments, have everything dialed in, know what we need to do to compete on a weekend and weekend basis and, put the best product out on the field. So, hopefully.
I'm with you on that one, Preston. Mediocrity is not an option. We have to come in, and that's one knock on the playoff system that I have. And people could say whatever they want and doubt me or disagree with me on this, but I just think the playoff. A lot of these guys know they have that option of losing at least one game and still having an opportunity to get in this thing. Whereas before, you lose one, you're done, and there's a lot more pressure, and it just put that pressure on these guys to excel at a higher level. And I noticed some teams kind of flounder a little bit. They go on the road. They're just not into it, kind of like us with Maryland last year. I could just tell by the time they got off that flight that we just weren't in that. Roy, Mr. Banuelos, how you doing? Fight on.
Mike get after it today, baby.
Yeah.
Let's knock somebody back.
I want to see Micah get some run out there, but yeah. So that's the only knock on the playoff system that I have is that it kind of gives them that they can even lose two games sometimes and still get in. But we mediocrity is not an option this season. I want us to come out and play hard. And that whole competition thing. That's why I love the depth that we have, Preston, because it's giving these guys, I think, that thing stuck in their head where I cannot mess up this week because if I drop 2 balls, I'm getting replaced, and another guy's coming in to take my job from me, and that can work and can separate the weak from the strong, man, or whatever you want to call it. But I'm definitely with you on that.
Yeah. And I think like the competition now is like it's legitimate, right? It's not like, oh, we're just kind of we gotta find somebody to fill this spot. Now it's like, nah, these guys are competing so hard that it's hard to pick a guy, bro. This guy had 3 sacks yesterday in practice, and this guy had 2 sacks and today. You know what I'm saying? It's real competition. I think the cream has really risen to the top. Like everything is elevated within the program, within the practice field, and I think we're gonna see that today. So. We got a couple CFP brackets, right? And this is all in good fun, man. I thought it would be interesting for the show. So all in good fun. Obviously, a lot of these teams in this bracket I despise.
You look so angry in your picture.
I know, right? My GTA character looks pretty angry. He's got a messed up right eye as well. But my Boise State at 12 is kind of laughable at this point. Maybe they're able to sneak in at that point. But I think USC, if we're 10-2, we can sneak in this playoff picture. Got us coming in here, making it to the quarterfinals, really, shaking things up, getting the fan base, getting everybody excited. And I think our losses will be playoff teams as well. So I think that is something that can elevate, us as well when you talk about the playoff picture in the future. Obviously, I got Texas in here at the end, winning it all. Despise Texas, but we're going to see how real Texas is, man. We're going to get to our picks soon. But I think Texas has a pretty good defense this year. But I think we're definitely gonna be able to compete, get in here, and really shock some people, man. Really excited to see how a lot of these teams perform this week.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, man, USC coming up against Miami. That'd be a good one, bro. I might be able to, if that is a 10-7 game, I would be at that game.
I would be at that game.
Yeah, be at that game. I guess you could stay with me, bro. I got a guest room. You stay in this room. I'm sitting there right here, bro.
Yeah.
you sleep right on this couch, man.
They'll sleep in your Bulldogs thing. I don't even care, man.
sleep in Jasper's cage.
There you go.
I wouldn't do that to you. But yeah, man, I think Bama's gonna be pretty good this year. I think it'll be a little bit better than last year. I think ASU probably ends up winning the Big 12. Like, I had Kansas State originally, but thankfully I was able to switch that up because Kansas State did not look very good.
Well, that quarterback looked out of shape, man, to me. He really did.
Over there at Island, bro. It's kind of hard to judge a lot of these cats off of first week and off of week 0 stuff as well.
Yeah, exactly. Playing on a horrible field that way too.
Yeah, but yeah, man, I think it's gonna be good, and I think SC is definitely gonna make a little run here, man. Hopefully, we can make it to the finish line because the national championship is in Miami, which that would be amazing. But
oh Lord,
yeah. Let's look
that
at
happens. I'm there.
I hope so. Let's check out what you got here.
All right, so ASU is probably one of those teams to me. They did keep a lot. There's a lot of talent still left at ASU. Their coach is solid, and on top of that, they feel like they have some unfinished business. Although you're losing a player like Scatterbo and all that, it could hurt. But you look at their schedule; it's one of the easiest schedules in college football. So I have them coming in, and they play well against big name teams. To be honest with you, they're always in the hunt for that, But I look for ASU and Georgia to meet up there, and Georgia is just so you never know what you're going to get. It just depends on which 5-star is going to step up and which one's going to be a bust, pretty much. So they got a lot of those, but there's some questions at Georgia, and then we're just going down this list here. So I have USC at Texas. Obviously, USC is going to. This is not the year. I always felt like we're about 2 years away from being that legitimate, championship contender. Who knows? We could possibly make a run. I mean, I've always said this is the 1 year that there's no clear-cut favorite. We don't know who's going to win. So a team like USC, if these players end up panning out, we get hot, then you never know. And yeah. Texas to me, they play better as the year goes on. I have them losing to Ohio State today just because that's just the way Texas rolls. But they do have trouble rising to the occasion. I mean, they really do. And look what happened against ASU. They have that tough time. And Arch is the next.
Are you in on Manning Mania? That's what I want to know.
You know what? I believe in him. Yeah, I really do. I think he's more athletic than the previous Manning boys, but we'll wait to see. We'll wait to see how he handles big pressure situations. That's what separated his, Eli and Peyton and even his brother Cooper I remember when he was at Newman. I remember reading about him, how Cooper was this legendary wide receiver, yeah. and actually he was the one that was expected to be the big star.
Yeah, that's where it says he gets the athleticism from, right?
Yeah, because Cooper he was solid. I'd read Street and Smith's magazine faithfully, man. I would read this. It was my Bible because we didn't have ESPN back when I was growing up. Yeah, I mean, not till later on, but you'd read these stories about these players. You're like, wow, man, wow. Ronnie Fields in basketball, or this guy named, Kenny Anderson, or then you'd read about this random player named Cooper Manning, who's just tearing it up on the South. But anyway, you get back to it. South Carolina, LSU. I have LSU advancing. Obviously, I just think South Carolina doesn't have enough talent there. Miami, Bama moving on. But let me just go through that. Let me just go up to the playoffs and semifinals there. I have ASU and Texas, LSU and Clemson, and I have Texas moving on. Because, like I said, they get a little hotter towards the end of the season. Texas is going to just avenge that matchup against ASU. Clemson, I have them beating LSU again, and because they play week 1, I have them winning twice against them. Moving on to Texas and then winning the national championship. And mind you, this was the hardest thing for me to do because I can't stand any of these teams.
I know.
I hate these teams.
Man, it's bad.
And I don't believe in any of them, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
But what can you do? We had to pick somebody, right?
Yeah, we're just cooking up. I have a whole detailed like thing about my bracket, but I kind of just like I'm kind of disgusted by looking at a lot of these teams, so I kind of sped through it. But something that you're very passionate about, something that a lot of fans in our fan base in particular are passionate about. You know, something that a lot of fan bases that like to make fun of USC about is our game day experience. You know, the experience in the Coliseum, the experience in LA. We're going to see it today. We're going to see the environment. We're going to see, who's in the stands, how early they're in there. When the game starts, we're going to see if everybody's sitting down, if people are yelling, if people are cheering, if people are fired up, or if they're just hanging out and being quiet. So I'll give you the floor here. I have my opinion on this a little bit, but what do you got to say about, the game day environment, man?
It's such a love-hate with me. There's times where when things are rolling, obviously, the fans come out and they don't even know. Some fans are passionate, diehard. I mean, there's tons of us out there, but then you get a lot of the fans that really just are there just because it's the popular thing to do. But the one thing that I don't get is just when showing up and supporting the team, even against a smaller team like this here, because what it takes is that crowd. Whether people believe it or not, it's a huge part of elevating this team to that next level. And if we could ever create one of those environments, I know the Coliseum's massive. It's not as intimate as some of these other places, but it is one of the cathedrals of college football. There's no doubt about that. Get in here and take pride in what we have and what we've been given, man. This is one of the most beautiful places in college football. Come out here, enjoy the experience. Let's ramp up our tailgating a little bit. I'll tell you what, Trojan Squad he's on the right path for that, man. I mean, those guys all doing ish, but I want to see more butts in the seats, man. I want to have that environment standing up constantly. I remember we played Penn State in the Rose Bowl. I was there with Patino's last game, I think it was, and every SC fan would just sit, and every Penn State fan stood up, even after they were being whipped up. They stood the entire time, Preston. They did not sit down. And I'm not saying I want that from our fans, but even a little bit of that excitement would take us to that next level, I think.
I think you might be done with the – okay, now I hear you now. Yeah, man. And this is – I was at Michigan, right, last year, right?
Yeah.
And that was a time, bro, where I was in an environment. Obviously, Michigan's different, right? Tradition. There ain't nothing really going down in Ann Arbor, Michigan. It's not Los Angeles, right? But, brother, when SC had the ball, every single person in there was yelling their lungs out, bro. They were yelling, bro. When Michigan had the ball, it was as quiet as it could have been. Nobody was saying nothing. Nobody was even speaking, bro. They got it down packed, right? And anytime you have a college or, a team in a big market, whether it's New York, Miami, LA, Chicago, whatever, if you build it, they'll come, right? If you win, they'll come. Like I'm a 90s baby, so I was able to watch, SC. Yeah. I fell in love with this team when I was 10, 11 years old, 2002, 2003, 2004. And it was packed, man. And it was magical. And you can see it on TV when you watch the games now. It was magical, bro. But you gotta be a winner, man. If you build it, they'll come. It's Los Angeles. It'll be the biggest ticket in the city. If this team gets on an 8-game winning streak, or a 9-game winning streak, or has a big time season, and everybody will be there, and then people will be flying out to go there. And it'll be special, right? But that's unfortunately what it takes in a big market. It's just too much going on, man. That's how it's always been. Also, if you're a player, and just my personal opinion, when I played and stuff like that, if you need the stands and the environment to get you going, bro, then you're not really about it, bro.
Yeah,
like, go out there and ball out. I don't care if it's 0 people in the stands. Because you gotta do it in practice, man. How are you attacking practice? There ain't nobody in the stands where y'all are practicing. So
but to be made fun of on the national scene,
I get it,
and to be mocked like that, dude. I don't like that. Come up with something. Drop the prices of tickets or something. Give to the community. Just get some people in the stands, man. You look at Oklahoma State. They could be the laughing stock of football, and they're sold out every single year. These guys. And I'm not saying we need that, because I'm with you on it. If you can't get motivated enough without that, by needing that, then yeah, we don't even need to be on the field. I'm completely with you on that. I just think for that college atmosphere, for being one of the blue bloods, I'd like to see us kind of just take it up just a couple notches more. That's it. Yeah, that's all that would like. But you know what? Really quickly, a friend of mine here that I went to, I've known this guy since elementary school. His name is Jeremy Dirks, and he's asking for a friend of mine, my friend Travis as well. We played basketball together, and he's a big Michigan fan. What are my thoughts on Michigan, Trav? My thoughts are I'll be there October 11th, and I hope you're there, man. Reach out to me. We can get together out there. But you guys got a solid young quarterback in Underwood, who I think has a lot of potential. The kid's great, man. He's obviously was the number one quarterback in the country. A solid defensive line, solid O-line, and so you guys are going to be okay. Question is Coach Moore all that he's made out to be? We'll see what happens with that. And obviously, I don't think, as far as the wideouts go, what are your thoughts, Preston, really quick on Michigan wideouts? I really don't think they have too many.
I don't like their outside talent at all. What I do like is their running back. That kid from Bama is an absolute dog. Michigan's going to be a good team, bro. They're going to be good defensively. They got some good edges, good O-line, good D-line. It's not going to be an easy game we play them. I give, obviously, SC the edge in that one because in the Collie. But Michigan's going to be good, man.
They're going to be good. But anyway, hey, Travis and Jeremy, thank you guys so much for reaching out, man. I love you guys.
Appreciate you guys. So we're going to get it here, man. We're only doing an hour show this week because I know it's a very special pregame show going on. Let's not act like we're not. Yeah, exactly. And I want to see the end of that pregame show as well. So we're going to get to the picks here, man. Big time games this week, man. We're going to start first off with the prime timer, kicking off in about 30 minutes here. Texas, Ohio State. I am manning mania on this one. I got Texas. Love the linebackers. Love the defense. Obviously don't like Texas in general, but I think Texas pulls this one out in the horseshoe against Ohio State.
What's number 3 against number? Here's the deal. I want to see what Coach Day has as far as being able to coach without Chip Kelly's help. Chip was just he's a phenomenal coordinator. He obviously took that program up to the next level. But honestly, I think I'm going to go with Texas on this one.
Texas,
even though it's Texas is number 1 in there. They're the underdogs in this, but I'm going with Texas.
Nice. Then we got Notre Dame in Miami, man. I think people I've been listening to a lot of my Miami people, and I'm looking at the news and stuff like that. People are hating on Carson Beck, man. Carson Beck is a winner, bro. Carson Beck has done some great things at the college football level, man. Miami has a little bit of an underrated defense. I think Miami also has one of the best offensive lines in the entire country. Francis Mano out there. They got some really nice pieces on the offensive line. I think Miami gets this done in Hard Rock and beats up Notre Dame, man. Also, CJ Carr out there at the quarterback spot. He's new for Notre Dame. He's not what they've had at the quarterback position, especially last year with Riley Leonard. I think Miami takes care of business on Sunday. What you got?
You know what? Just to keep it, I don't know. I was going to go with Miami, but I'll mix it up a bit, and I'll go with Notre Dame. They're going to stick to the running game, and Love's going to be tough to stop. And one thing you always worry about humidity and when you're playing in that part of the country. But one thing is that Notre Dame, they got solid tight end play every year, solid offensive lines every year, and then they got the running game this year. So look for them to lean on that running game. I'll take Notre Dame in that one.
Yes, sir. Now we got Bama and Florida State. Bama at Florida State coming out to Tallahassee. I got Alabama in this one. Easy for me. Florida State is in shambles, and I think my man Norvell is probably going to lose his job very soon, unfortunately. But I got Bama in this one.
Yeah. They've lost that mystique at home. It's no longer a tough place to play. People don't fear playing in Tallahassee anymore. I'm going with Alabama in this one but if the board does lose, that seat is going to get Brian Kelly hot.
Yes, it will, man. The board probably can't lose 2 games this year. Now we got LSU and Clemson, man. This is going to be a great game. It's obviously coming out at the same time as the SC game. Excited for this one, man. I got Clemson winning this game, and I got LSU losing their 6th straight opener, man. How you feeling?
I have Clemson winning this game, and the LSU fans are going to dump Kelly in a pot of gumbo, bro. They're done with him. Kelly didn't know what he was taking on. The South is different, and you know what? Certain coaches excel in the South. You know, you either like Lane Kiffin, you go with the flow and just do what people tell you to do, like he does at Ole Miss. But Kelly's just different, and he's struggling right now. Look for Clemson to come in and be the real Death Valley of college football.
All right, man. Now, Syracuse at Tennessee. This is my upset, man. Going with my guy, Fran Brown. Love Fran Brown, man. One of the realest coaches in college football. Heard him talking the other day about how he's paying for his son's education and giving the scholarship to somebody else, man. Just a really good head coach of the college football level. Had a good season last year with Syracuse. They beat Miami. They had some big-time games. I got Syracuse win this game in Tennessee, man. This is my upset pick for the week. I feel good about this team. They got the quarterback from Notre Dame going over there, Angeli, I think is his last name. They got some weapons on offense as well. I like Syracuse getting the upset in Knoxville today.
I'm with you. I'm a big Syracuse fan. My boy Travis, we were just talking about, the Michigan guy. He lives in those areas and in that area. So, big fan of Otto the Orange, the mascot. We're going Syracuse. That's a high-powered offense. I love them ever since McPherson was at quarterback. They've always been one of those teams I enjoy watching. So I'm definitely going with Syracuse.
Q's. Then we got our SC Trojans going up against Missouri State, man. You already know what time it is, man.
Woo!
To the University of Southern California. You know what I'm saying? SC rocks this one. 45, I would say 7. I think maybe the youngsters give up one late. Hopefully not. But I think we absolutely destroy Missouri State in the Collie.
Yeah, definitely. I look for SC to put up at least 40-something points on them, hopefully more. And please do not give up more than 3 points to this team, USC, or else I will be livid. Anyway, fight on, man. We're going to tear this team up.
Yeah. Hopefully that happens. Hopefully they do not get the 7 that I predicted, and we hold them at 0 or 3, maybe 6. But Virginia Tech at South Carolina. I'm very high on Lenore Sellers, high on this South Carolina offense. They got my big wide receiver out there, the guy that runs track. His name is slipping my mind right now. But I really like what Beamer is doing out there at South Carolina. And hey, man, he's going up against his pops alma mater as well. So I mean, his pops old school. So this is a fun one here. But I got South Carolina winning this game against Virginia Tech.
So do I. Virginia Tech struggles away from home. And they're obviously, Beamer's doing so. He's doing a great thing there at South Carolina. It's kind of under the radar. People don't realize how he's been turning that program around, bringing in some solid recruits. Look for South Carolina to take care of that. Go Gamecocks! They're going to take that. Yeah.
My boy Will in the chat, Nick Harbor. Yeah, that's a wide receiver from South Carolina. Hey, my boy Will, man. Good luck against Miami, man. You guys got a rough one on Sunday, man. It's going to be interesting how that plays out. Now we got Utah and UCLA. God, I hate both of these teams, man. But I'm going to have to go with Utah. I'm going to have to go with Birmingham and Utah. UCLA is probably the worst team in America right now. They're looking very terrible, even though people are excited about their quarterback. But I think Utah takes care of business in the Rose Bowl against these Bruins.
Dude, UCLA could be playing Tijuana Tech or Bakersfield Junior College, and I will always pick the opposing school. There's no way I'll ever pick them. I don't care. It's never going to happen. So I'm definitely going Utah.
Facts. And that is a show, folks, man.
Yes, we did it.
That is the show. Shouts out to everybody in the chat. Shouts out to everybody on Twitter, on Facebook. You guys know where to find me, man. Preston's Paradise on YouTube. Fight on Preston on Twitter. My man Paulie Walnuts. Where can the people find you?
They can find me on YouTube at Calling the Shots. podcast with Paulie Walnuts, and you can find me on YouTube and X, also on Instagram as well, Paulie Walnuts 4242. You'll see me on there, and that's Paulie Walnuts 4242 for James Worthy, by the way. So anyway, and you can find me on Facebook. Hit me up, guys, if you guys ever have any questions about anything. But please subscribe. I really greatly appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Check my man out. Check me out, man. This has been Pregames with Paulie and Preston, man. We had a great chat today, man. Everybody came through, a lot of energy, man. Had about 70 people in here. So, appreciate you guys.
Thank you, guys.
This is something that we do every week, man. Every Saturday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern time, 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. Bright and early, we're getting after it, and we're coming with segments talking about USC football, talking about everything going on in the college football world. So appreciate you guys coming through, man. Trojans play today. Fight on, everybody. Have a good day, man. We're going to see you guys.